Hello, my name is Amy O'Keefe. I'm an Irish archaeologist and have recently completed my master's in classics in Trinity College Dublin. So, my topic, which discusses the representations of mothers in the ancient Greek archaeological record, addresses and shines a light on some of the biases that we must overcome as scholars when talking about this topic. On a wider scale, the biases against ancient women are many and are deeply entrenched across the disciplines of history, archaeology, anthropology, and classics. To quote Hans Licht, the modern man might feel inclined to ask the question whether the Greek girls and women did not feel desperately unhappy in a life of such retirement. The Greek women took the strictly limited, but no less noble tasks, which resulted from their household duties so seriously that they had no time for detailed or painful thoughts about their existence. This work was first published in 1931. However, the edition I stumbled upon was a more recent one, being published in 2018. The notion that ancient women did not have the capacity for complex thought and self-actualization is insulting and sounds ridiculous. Yet this idea is still put forth in an academic setting. When women as a collective are diminished to this degree, it does not bode well for mothers who are consistently scrutinized, shamed, and pressured to conform to societal expectations and stereotypes. While ancient women as a collective are stripped of intelligence and agency, mothers are stripped even further of their very humanity. Often the concept of a mother goddess takes precedence in our interpretations and representations of motherhood. Motherhood becomes intrinsically linked to the female identity and is then placed on a pedestal of divine interpretation. As noted by Christine Morris in her 2006 article, Arthur Evans, who was an early classicist/archaeologist from the 20th century British Empire, brought his contemporary biases concerning the female body and motherhood with him to his excavations at Knossos. He described the larger snake goddess figurine as having breasts that are almost entirely bare and of matronly proportions. However, it has been remarked upon by Stephanie Boudin that explicit representations of motherhood are almost entirely absent from Minoan iconography. The propensity to see divine motherhood where perhaps it is not warranted obscures other possible interpretations. In archaeology, we have a tendency to assume ritualistic explanations for objects we don't fully understand. However, female figurines have a very obvious interpretation that is rarely given: depictions of actual women. The double standard of gendered interpretation is easily illustrated with Mycenaean figurines. Two specialised figurine groups, the kourotrophic, or woman and child, and the charioteer figurines are treated very differently. The kourotrophic are almost always interpreted as a depiction of either a mother goddess or as a divine nurse to care for a child following death. Elizabeth French, when looking at the male charioteer figurines, on the other hand, says that the most likely explanation is that they and some of the other groups reflect scenes of everyday life. This is a reasonable explanation, which I agree should be represented. But why is it that a man may hold the reins of a chariot and be a man, but a woman may not hold her child and still be a woman? In this transitional style example, this woman is depicted carrying two children, a baby at her breast whose hand curls up around her chest and may possibly be suckling. The second, older child is held on her back, most likely wrapped in her shawl, and is looking over the woman's shoulder. The parasol seen over this second child speaks to the concern of sunburn and protection of a child's delicate skin, which is a very mortal concern. So why is it that this soft and touching depiction is so often coldly interpreted as a mother goddess figurine? This is because of internalized unconscious bias within the disciplines. Mortal mothers took up space and had agency in human history, and it is time that we collectively acknowledge and explore their stories. Thank you.